Hello again, my dear ones. Welcome to Granny's Whisper. As we always do before we begin, let me ask, where are you listening from tonight? Drop your city or your country in the comments. I love to know where my family of listeners gather from. If you are new here, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoy our stories, please like, share and subscribe. Before we dive in, I would like to thank you again for visiting Granny's Whisper channel. True stories from Granny's Whisper, raw, unfiltered, unforgettable. Today's story is about faith, betrayal, and a kind of forgiveness most of us could never give. Sit close, my dears. This is the story of the God-fearing woman who forgave the unforgivable. From the street, the Kwarteng's home looked blessed. Cream brick walls, gold-rimmed windows, and a mahogany door that gleamed like promise. Inside, everything smelled of jasmine candles and warm bread. Evelyn Kwarteng was the kind of woman the neighbourhood called the prayer woman. Her wigs were short and elegant, her dresses bright Ankara and soft whites. Her laughter was quiet, her voice kind, and her faith unshakable. Her husband Richard was power-wrapped in charm. Tall, deep-voiced, broad-shouldered. He owned car dealerships and walked like success was his birthright. On Sundays, he sat in the church's front pew beside Evelyn, his watch gleaming under the lights. Together they looked perfect. But my loves, even the prettiest houses can hide broken walls. One day, Evelyn's younger sister fell ill and called from the village. "Please, my daughter Amara needs somewhere to stay," she begged. Evelyn, pure of heart, didn't hesitate. "Send her here," she said. "She'll be safe with us." Amara arrived, 19, beautiful, with honey-brown skin and a shy smile. She called Evelyn Auntie and helped in the kitchen like an angel in training. For a while, everything was perfect. Evelyn enrolled her in fashion school, bought her new clothes, and even took her shopping. But somewhere between those shopping trips and late-night dinners, greater than something, changed. Amara began wearing tighter jeans, new wigs with long wavy hair, glossy pink lips. Richard noticed. He noticed too much. It started with glances. Then conversations that lasted too long. Soon, Richard was driving Amara to her classes, buying her small gifts, laughing too loudly at her jokes. Evelyn saw none of it. She trusted them both, trusted too much. Then, one night, during a thunderstorm, Evelyn was at church for an all-night prayer. Richard came home early. Amara offered him tea. One candle flickered between them. Greater than and temptation, my dears, walked right through the door. By Christmas, the man who once led prayers was leading a secret life. Greater than stolen moments in the kitchen, quiet whispers in the dark, sin wrapped in silence. It happened one rainy Friday. Evelyn had left her Bible at home and returned early from church to get it. The lights were dim, the air too still. From upstairs, she heard soft laughter, Amara's voice, a whisper, a gasp, a sound that turned her stomach to ice. Her hand trembled as she climbed the stairs. One more step, then another. She pushed open the bedroom door. And there, on the bed she had blessed with oil and prayer, was her husband and her niece. The tray in her hands crashed to the floor. Silence, shock, sin laid bare. Richard jumped, scrambling for a bedsheet. "Evelyn, it's not what I think," she snapped, voice trembling. "Do I look blind, Richard?" Amara fell to her knees, sobbing. "Auntie, please, it just happened." Evelyn's eyes glistened with tears she refused to shed. "In my home?" The same home I prayed for? You call that an accident? The rain roared outside as if heaven itself was weeping, and with a voice made of both pain and pride, she said, "Get dressed, both of you. And get out of my sight before the Holy Spirit sees the rest of your shame." By morning, Amara was gone. One suitcase, one ruined soul. Richard moved to a hotel, leaving behind his guilt and his suits. The gossip came before sunrise. "Did you hear?" they whispered at the market. "Even Evelyn's home isn't safe." Evelyn stopped going to church. She cleaned, cooked, prayed, and cried. Her nights were quiet, too quiet. She whispered to God, "Why me? Did I not serve you well?" But heaven stayed silent. Months passed, and the proud man fell from grace. His car businesses crumbled, investors pulled out, and taxmen came knocking. The Range Rover was repossessed. The name Richard Kwarteng no longer opened door, it closed them. Alone in a small rented flat, he called Amara. No answer. She had taken all the money he'd trusted her with, then over £40,000. She was now in another city with a new boyfriend, a flashy club promoter with gold chains and no morals. When Richard finally found her, she sat at a restaurant table, laughing in another man's arms. "Amara," he said, voice cracking, "I'm sick. I have nothing left. Please help me." She looked up, cold as marble. "Uncle, please. You made your bed. Lie in it." And she left him sitting there, humiliated, broke, and utterly alone. Not long after, Richard's heart gave out. Guilt turned to illness. He was admitted to hospital, tubes and machines keeping time with his regrets. No one visited, no friends, no niece. One night, he picked up the phone and dialed a number he hadn't dared in months. "Evelyn," he whispered. "It's me. I'm dying." For a long moment there was silence. Then, softly, "Where are you?" When she arrived, she didn't come with anger, she came with soup. She cleaned his sheets, read him psalms, and held his trembling hand. "Why are you here?" he asked. "Because I am not you," she said quietly. "Because I made a vow before God, and even if you broke yours, I won't break mine." Weeks passed. He faded like a candle, and she stayed until the end. When he died, she closed his eyes, kissed his forehead, and whispered, "I already forgave you long ago." Amara never came to the funeral. By then, she had been abandoned by her flashy boyfriend, pregnant and penniless. When her child was born, she reached out to the only person who might still show mercy. Evelyn didn't hesitate. She sent money every month, quietly, secretly. Not because Amara deserved it, but because the child didn't. Later, when Amara fell ill, Evelyn took in her little girl and raised her as her own. "You will not inherit your mother's shame," she said gently. "You'll grow in light." Years later, Evelyn's house still stood. Smaller, quieter, but filled with peace. The roses she once planted now bloomed again, red as renewal. Her catering business thrived, and her laughter returned, not loud, but genuine. When people asked how she forgave, she'd smile and say, "Because I refused to let bitterness take the only thing I had left, my soul." Betrayal, my loves, often wears a familiar face. Sometimes the people you feed are the first to poison you. But forgiveness is not weakness. It's the strength to say, "You no longer control my peace." So, What do you think, my dears? Was Evelyn right to forgive a man who destroyed her trust? Or should she have left him to suffer alone? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Was her mercy a miracle, or was it foolishness wrapped in faith? Until next time, this has been Granny's Whisper, where every story has a heartbeat, and every heartbeat hides a truth.